So a new team and a new league, there's a lot of pressure on Cole Jr. to do well at West Ham, and especially because the very first match that he gets called up for is against the giants, the millionaires of the BPL, Manchester City. But you know how it is, there's a lot of competitivity on the bench, and you only get one shot. And if this is the match that the manager picked Cole Jr. for, well, there is no question that this is the match Cole Jr. has to perform in. You remember the first season with Paranense, that people were asking in the comments, how come it went by so quick? Well, it's easy when you don't get called up for matches, so that's this kind of situation we are trying to avoid here in the BPL, especially because arguably it's the best league in the world right now. So as we get the handshakes going, Cole Jr. gets into his element, he gets into his mindset, and he doesn't care. It doesn't matter if it's Manchester City against West Ham at home, it doesn't matter who is the underdog, he will demolish them. But then we see Manchester City's lineup, and oh my god, they ball Lewandowski and Di Natale. It doesn't matter still, Cole Jr. is set up on a mission. And I also think that Man City bought Handanovic from the Serie A, which is also a really good keeper, at least an ultimate team. So as Nasri gets his leg stretch, and we see this amazing camera there with the ball, the match kicks off, and Cole Jr. gets his first touch of the ball in the Barca's Premier League. So right off the bat, Cole Jr. gets here the ball. He dribbles past one defender, tries to beat the other, loses the ball to the fullback, and then he just lays him out. So he just makes a statement. He doesn't care if he's in the most physical league in the world, because he just laid out Micah Richards on his ass, and he will not take shit from anybody. Manchester City do have the most of chances. Obviously, West Ham was going to play on a Manchester City football, which means they're trying to cash in on mistakes, they're trying to get in a counter. Obviously, they're not going to dominate possession, but who was that? Maybe David Silva. He has a really powerful volley there, right in the goalkeeper, though, fortunately for West Ham. And they get a little counterattack going, heads it back, Cole Jr. to his teammate. He asks for the ball back, not a very good angle, but he does pull off a good feint move there, and dribbles right on the edge of the area there. But the defender tries to overpower him. He actually doesn't manage to. Cole Jr. turns around. He sees one defender. He gets lucky. He's another defender. He gets lucky again. And then his teammate Joe Cole actually puts it in the back of the net to make it 1-0 for West Ham United. And I don't know about you guys, but that's as close to an assist that Cole Jr. would ever get without actually getting an assist. But you think that's luck? No, that's actually skill. You actually do see, in all seriousness, that Cole Jr. was trying to pull some feints there to the defenders, but it wasn't as clean. But that's the point, right? To just get past them. But he does get clear here, and Cole Jr. finish it. Oh, he doesn't, because Handanovic happens to be an amazing keeper in this game. Apparently, I only knew him in FIFA, but it does go to halftime at 1-0. West Ham holding on to their lead for dear life. Obviously, they're not going to have possession. They were just being very dangerous, though. Even when they don't pass it right, it still ends up to their players. That's how talented their players are, and they do hit the back netting then. And Cole Jr. actually gets substituted for Andy Carroll, who, by the way, looks nothing like Andy Carroll. But as Cole Jr. got substituted, I was just thinking that we need at least a draw out of this game for it to be a good debut for Cole Jr., because if it's a loss, it doesn't really count. And Manchester City do cash in on one mistake from the midfield with Milner actually going on the break and passing it to Jovetic, who is a monster in every game and in real life, and he gets one back for Manchester City. You can see how much it means to Handanovic, but they do pull it back at 1-1, and that's fortunately how the game ends. So Cole Jr., as you're about to see, actually got man of the match in his BPL debut, which is exactly what I wanted. It's a good thing that West Ham didn't concede anymore, but 7.0 match rating, actually not the greatest. But it's still the man of the match, so we'll take it. And that's been this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I know what you're going to say. 2 weeks with no uploading, and then I bring you one 4-minute video with only one match in it. Don't worry, I'm going to actually get back on my uploading schedule. I'm going to have a new FIFA Be a Pro tomorrow, and maybe even Become a Legend the day after that. Just tell me when you want it. That's what she said. I've been Shade. Leave it a like if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.